I almost feel like my role as a blind person is not to be this woke, don't call me blind or anything. My role is to show other blind people that you can still live a full, fun, fruitful life. You can do everything. I mean, I've got a child, I'm building a house, I've traveled, I've spoken to 62,000 people. Blindness can't stop you.
From exploring and seeing the vast oceans on our planet, and now I'm into probably the greatest and most strenuous journey that I've ever undertaken, partnering with my blind friend Chris and building a house. We've got a guy who's busy leading this build who can't tell a straight line from a skew line. This can't be a recipe for success, or can it?
So Riaan's taking on the role of foreman. Basically, he's going to be my eyes. I just want to get stuck in and prove that a blind man can do anything that a sighted person is able to.
I guess when we named this building Blind, we wanted to be honest about what we were going to do. But when you say it over and over, it gets scarier and scarier. We are going to be building blind. Proudly brought to you by Everite, home of Nutec, building solutions that you can trust. To arrive here and to see the bicycle in the position where it is now, being celebrated like it is awesome. And I won't use the word humbling. That would be too cliched. I think the promise that Professor Bruton made to me, that he was going to use this bicycle to inspire and also to educate the kids and also the adults that move through this bicycle museum, has come true. I am proud, man. A guy can't be a human being if you don't get that feeling inside you that says, yes, Riaan, you've done well. You know, you actually have. And people outside of just your family and your best friends also know that. So I'm very proud. I'm so glad this bicycle has got a real home.
Well, there are many kinds of famous cyclists that we celebrate here. And Riaan Manser's epic trip around Africa is a source of inspiration to many people, young and old, and it's such a great pleasure to work with Riaan on this display. We think it's very important to celebrate the evolution of the bicycle, as it's really one of humankind's greatest inventions. There are few inventions that are over 200 years old that are more successful now than ever before. Most inventions have a kind of sell-by date. After a few decades, they're replaced by something else. But the bicycle is more successful than ever before. There are more bicycles in the world than motor cars. They transport more people than any other vehicle. And the remarkable thing about the bicycle is it has such a simple design, but that simple design has stretched humankind's creativity to the absolute limit.
This is an exceptionally professional setup. I think having Professor Mike Bruton as the curator, I think they have landed themselves with probably the pinnacle of curator that they could have thought of. And then to have Peter here as actually the owner of this broader business and bicycle hotel, it couldn't have been a better partnership.
And in this museum, we show the remarkable evolution of that simple 2 wheels and 9 vehicle. And this is one of the key starting points, Baron van Drijs's hobby horse, which you pushed along with your feet. They hadn't developed pedals yet. And he invented this because of an acute shortage of horses in Europe at the time. Designers decided that if you make the diameter, the circumference of the front wheel larger, you go further for every pedal. And that resulted in the absurd machine of the penny farthing or the ordinary, which despite its radical design became the most common bicycle of its time.
Bicycles, without a doubt, change people's lives. I mean, the bicycle changed my life. It gave me an opportunity to go see places and to discover places that I never ever dreamt I would see.
I'm working with quite a well-known guy called Riaan Manser. You know, I'm sure you know who Riaan is. Yeah. And building a house. I mean, in those days, you know, you had my wife's phone number. Do you know why? Because I didn't even have the ability to use a cell phone yet back then. That's our phone. Now, if you go to the iStore in Canal Walk and you're struggling to use screen reader, they will give you my phone number and say, this guy can help you. That's the difference between, you know, a few years can make. So let's go walk. Let's go walk.
The ladies from SA Guide Dogs came to do a re-interview because my interview was originally 5 or 6 years ago, at which time I told them, look, I'm not really ready for a dog. I just don't want to be at the bottom of the list, so let's do that. Obviously, you know, I've been blind for 8 years and I'm a very different person to who I was 6 years ago. The speed that I move at and my capabilities are a lot more advanced. So they came out to do sort of a new evaluation and then pop me back on the list.
I'd love to have a situation where the dog can be on the kayak with me.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. How about the first guide dog to paddle across an ocean?
You know, we look at things like personality of the dog, personality of the person. Would the person prefer a dog that is more affectionate or not affectionate? Some people don't like overly affectionate dogs. You know, so yeah, those are all kind of things we get a feel for in the interview process. Walk with your cane for a bit. I just want to see how you walk with that.
Okay, cool, no problem, let's do it.
Most importantly would be the speed of the dog versus speed of the person. We want to get that right, first and foremost.
So basically what the ladies did is one of them held a harness and walked with me as if I was walking with a guide dog. You always walk with it on your left hand, and we went through some of the systems and techniques, and we did a long walk through the village.
Okay, left. Okay. Can I give my dog a name?
Yes.
Shark. Shark. Left and forward, or just left. So now we're going to find the edge again. Okay, come right. I wouldn't want to have a dog that's too slow, especially if I'm thirsty like today.
He does require quite a specific dog that, yeah, we would just need to be very careful with the kind of dog that we give him. So it's just about what dogs come along and what we have to work with. So it's very difficult to say how long he's going to wait.
I'm pretty confident about the whole process. I know that these guys are the experts, and what they've done over the years to establish a system that works is solid. For me, I need to have a guide dog that can be comfortable getting on a kayak with me, that can be comfortable in and out the car, going away, walking in the mountains, on the beach. Some dogs, for example, might be a little bit fearful of cold water. For goodness sake, I'm on a building site climbing all over concrete laced holes and steel and pipes and things like that. I need a dog that's a little bit of a rock star, I guess. A dog that's going to be comfortable with the environment that I live in.
I mean, I did 22 laps of Killarney the other day in 22 different vehicles. Okay. I did Lion's Head and Table Mountain, sea to summit. So I mean, there's a lot of things that I've kind of like smacked. I almost feel like my role as a blind person is not to be this woke, don't call me blind or anything. Yeah. My role is to show other blind people that you can still live a full, fun, fruitful life. You can do everything. I mean, I've got a child, I'm building a house, I've traveled, I've spoken to 62,000 people. There's no excuse. The blindness can't stop you.
Dude, I feel like crap. All right, I'll try.
Okay, let's just give it another shot.
I will try.
Go.
So what we're doing now is we're installing all the plumbing pipes for the first installation into the floor, so it equalizes the pressure and gives you drainage. We don't have to then later cut all the concrete and chase those pipes into the concrete, and we rather have them all in place so that water comes to the shower, drains come from the shower, and they run to the external point of the building and to where the supply will be. Yes, we're very close to casting. I think we would have cast this week if not for our decision to install the plumbing. Thank you for sending the thing. We sent it all off to the bank.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Now we just wait for it.
More than that, you can't break it.
I know, it's
Unless
like...
we start counting the bricks.
And the screws and the nuts,
Yeah.
and tell them... What the lady said to me, she's going to look at it and she's going to say, your land's worth so much, you owe so much on it. Your fence is worth so much, your foundation's worth so much, that's worth so much. It's worth over $1 million. There's your $1 million.
Okay. But they will first come here to see what you've done.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
it's got nylon and it's got aluminium and nylon. What's nice of this pipe?
Mm-hmm.
Listen now. If you open your furthest bathroom's water from the geyser,
Yeah.
you get hot water very much quicker because this doesn't cool the water
It
down
maintains
as
the
much as
heat.
what copper does in winter time.
So is this the stuff that I basically just paid money for that would have paid for me to have a holiday overseas
That
sometime?
is correct. yes.
Gotcha, gotcha.
It's this. This took
Let me
the
keep
place.
this. Let me keep this.
that, and you know,
I'm gonna give
this
this.
took the place of your holiday.
I'm going to give this to Tam and I'm going to say, honeymoon.
There you
There you
go.
go. Sometimes there's delays that would have caused us to sit for a long time. I'm paying a rental. I can't have any more delays. We're already 6 weeks plus behind.